Hello all, my name is Michael Panisi. For those of you who may not know me, I know I probably know most of you in the room. I manage the Coldwell Banker Maplewood office. Today I want to talk about Keeping Current Matters. It's a tool that I've been using for years since I was in sales, and now myself and my agents use it on a constant basis to help with some of the more difficult conversations that you may have between buyers and sellers. Really, to kind of give you a gist of what Keeping Current Matters is, I'm going to flash back to when I first started in real estate. I was 21 years old. I was working in the Summit market, and most of the time they didn't care about my opinion when I sat down with a seller. This was a Wall Street driven market. They were very analytical people, and a 21-year-old's opinion is somewhat irrelevant to their needs and their wants. With that said, I had to find a way in order to break through that barrier of communication, call it, and really educate them to why they should listen to suggestions on price and why they should listen to certain things, certain market indicators, without ever bringing my opinion into it. So the source for this information is Keeping Current Matters. Steve Harney is a gentleman that put together, he had this idea to bring together a group of people and create PowerPoint slides on a monthly basis that pull from all different sources that people tend to trust. So an example of that would be the Wall Street Journal. He'll pull slides or pieces of information and he'll turn them into slides from the Wall Street Journal, or from all different sources. It could be the Harvard Business School, it could be government entities, it could be big banks such as, I don't know, whether it be Wells Fargo or Bank of America, or all different sources that, when collectively put together, tell a story. And I wanted to go through some examples today of different ways you could use this information. Your agents could use it, because in many instances it allows you to tell the story that you want to tell without ever bringing your opinion into it. And I think that that's really where the power of Keeping Current Matters lies. So I hope you enjoy this walkthrough, and I apologize for not being able to be there today. Take care. So the first page I wanted to show you is Keeping Current Matters homepage. When you sign in, this is the page that you're going to see. I'm going to scroll down, and the next slide actually shows you all of the archives for the different months updates. And as you can see, it says July, June, May, all the way down. What it does have on this page is a couple of different options. It has webinar, audio, PDF, PowerPoint, JPEG, or script. So you could actually pull up whatever you feel most comfortable to use to try to learn the information. If you wanted to go through the webinar, you'd be able to click on that and it would go through every slide and give you the audio over the slides, so you could actually watch it as a webinar if you wanted to present it to your office. Audio is exactly that. It's the audio version. PDF and PowerPoint are very similar. They're the exact same thing. They're just in different forms. JPEG is if you wanted to use them as pictures, so if you wanted to put them on like a smartphone or a tablet device. And then script is the actual dialogue that you could use to go out and present this information. Next, I want to show you an example from July's issue of Keeping Current Matters. It's a series of slides that you could use to get buyers off of the fence. The first being the 30-year fixed rate mortgage history. As you could see, you could show them the visual of how quickly mortgage rates are actually rising. The next slide gives you rate projections from 4 different entities that the average consumer may trust: the Mortgage Bankers Association, Fannie Mae, the National Association of Realtors, and Freddie Mac. The point being that they're all projecting an increase in rates for the next quarter, which is something any buyer should know. The next couple slides are really what KCM does best. They realize that most buyers care about the what's in it for me factor. So they took the data from the previous slide and then they projected it out. If rates were to increase, what would this mean for you, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer? In this particular example, if rates were to rise 1%, it would equate to $216.62 difference in your monthly payment. The following slide talks about over the next 12 months what would it equate to, and subsequently over the next 30 years what would it equate to. So a $77,000 difference is pretty substantial, and it shows that buyer why today it makes sense not to wait. The last example I want to give is the mortgage amount slide. I like to call it the what if slide. Essentially what it is an amortization table built out into a chart. So what it shows you is if interest rates were to rise by 0.25% or another 0.25% and so on, what your monthly payment would be changed to. Having used this slide many times over, especially in conjunction with previous slides that I've shown, what you're able to do is build a case for projections are that interest rates are going to rise. And if they do rise, this is what your monthly payment is going to be. Eventually, they put two and two together and realize that, you know what, now's the time to actually purchase a home, because if I don't, it's going to dramatically increase my payment and I might not be able to afford the home that I'm actually looking for. I appreciate your time today. I hope you found my introduction to be helpful. And just know that even though I went through buyer slides, that all of the presentations cater to both buyers and sellers. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.